How are you living your life? Is your life fulfilled, successful, happy, joyful? What is the meaning and purpose of your life? Are you living your life with a full meaning and purpose? Life is the grandest, fullest in its expression. Are you following the map which you created for your life? Or you are just living your life by someone else's advices, by someone else's guidance? Is your life in your complete hands? Life is bigger, grander than what we think. We need to create our own roadmap for living a peaceful life, happy life, successful life. Spirituality plays a major role in crafting our life. Many people live life by default. Living life by default and living life by design. If we live our life by default, we will not explore many dimensions of life. But if we design, if we craft our life with spiritual tools and with understanding of the self, that is the life worth living. That is the life worth living with meaning and purpose. Your life is not your life. Your life is for everyone that you meet. One day, one person asked Neil Donald Walsh, one of the best authors, the author written by the books Conversations with God. So one disciple asked him, how do I live my life without suffering? How can I come out of my suffering, my depression? Then Neil Donald Walsh replied, if you want to live life happily, peacefully, without suffering, then never think about your life as your own life. Think about your life for the sake of others. Whenever you enter into any room, you think about how can you help the people in that room? How can you heal the room? How can you uplift the energy of the room? Then your thought process changes and your life will be different, because there is the higher element enter into your life, that is soul element, your consciousness. And from then onwards, your life will be magical. You experience meaningful coincidences in your life. And today I am going to talk some important concepts about life and how spirituality plays a major role in life. Let us look into this. What is spirituality? Is it reading some spiritual books? Is it reading some spiritual books? Or just meditating for hours with closed eyes? What is true spirituality? We might be attending some talks, spiritual talks. Is that enough to be a spiritual being? But that is not enough to just read the books and attend some talks. But spirituality is meaningful for us if we apply those truths. Spirituality is always meaningful, but if we are just taking them into our mind as just ideas, concepts in the mind, it doesn't bring any change in our life. What brings change in our life is when you apply those tools. True spirituality is about inner engineering. We need to go deeper to peel the layers of the onion, to peel the layers of the unconscious mind. That is when your true self awakens. That is when your true spirit awakens. That is when you live your life to the fullest. I'll share with you about 4 paths that lead to unity and 4 goals of human life, and also about 5 kleshas. Let us look into each of these things step by step. So when you have suffering in your life, you need to understand that the root cause is there within. We try to search for resolving the suffering, conflicts by looking outside. It doesn't change anything. It is because suffering has the roots within. The root causes are there within. First, look into these 5 kleshas. The 5 kleshas. Kleshas means, the word klesha means form of suffering. The 5 kleshas means 5 forms of suffering. According to Vedanta, great rishis of India, they have discovered what is bringing misery, suffering to human beings. They have come up with this map called 5 kleshas. The klesha word is a Sanskrit word which means suffering. So what are these 5 kleshas that bring us suffering? If we know what is bringing us suffering, then it is easy for us to come out of suffering. Like how when we go to a doctor first diagnoses what the illness is, what the problem is. Based on that diagnosis, he will give you some treatment, medicine. Like that, we need to become doctor to our own self, soul doctor. Go deep, dig into these kleshas. The first klesha is avidya, ignorance. What is avidya means? Means not having the knowledge. Avidya is nothing but not having soul science, soul wisdom. That is what true ignorance means. So when we don't have soul knowledge, soul wisdom, we try to live our life from the level of the mind. We know that the mind itself is such a big, complex thing. Without understanding, without connecting to this higher element, the soul element, the mind is nothing. It is like a vehicle. How does it go without driver? Like that, for us also, this mind, without this mind getting direction, guidance from our soul, our mind will not function properly. That's why we see so much suffering outside, all the conflicts, fights for all the petty things, so many wars, is because their minds are not have proper direction by the soul. That's what vidya means having right spiritual knowledge. When we have the right knowledge, then our mind gets clarity. When mind gets clarity, we think clearly. And second klesha is asmita. Asmita means egoism. When we have this egoism, we think that we are superior than anyone else. We think that I am superior person. There is no greater person than me. So when this ego element enters into us, and the soul cannot help you. When there is no ego, then our soul will take care of us. When there is ego, what soul does? It tries to create tests for us. When there is ego, it is like a filter. We cannot see anything clearly. This ego comes with various things, like if you are powerful, if you are a manager of a company, or if you are leading some organization, then you feel so powerful, you feel egotic. This is the problem. So we need to work on this ego. We need to chop this ego layers. Ego exists when higher power is absent. So we connect to the limited power, the power which we get from outside, and we feel powerful. That is what brings egoism in us. So this is another layer, another mask that we wear. People, the bigger ego, the bigger suffering is. If our egos are lesser, then we have less suffering. No ego, no suffering. So you have a choice whether you want to live your life with ego or egolessness. Choice is always ours. Decision is always ours. No one can help us if we carry this mask of ego in us. And the third klesha is raga. Raga means attachment. Attachment towards people. Attachment towards money. Attachment towards position. Attachment towards material things. Attachment towards success. Whatever you keep attaching to something or someone, then that brings suffering to us. As long as those attachments are there, we feel happy. One day these attachments will go. Only you will have to continue your journey. There is a cartoon which I have seen recently. There are two monks sitting, one senior monk and junior monk. Junior monk asked the senior monk, Master, can we use email? Then the senior monk said, yes, we can use email, but as long as there are no attachments. So, we carry so many attachments. These attachments bring suffering. Suppose you are attached with someone, you love with someone, and one day that person leaves you. You get misery, you get suffering. Start living with detachment. That means when I say detachment means not leaving all the works, all the people, but living in the household life, doing the jobs that we are doing, but still staying detached with everything. That's what brings us freedom. And fourth klesha is dvesha. Dvesha means hatredness. When you carry hatred towards either yourself or hatred towards others, it also brings us suffering. So when you hate people or situations that come in your life, your suffering will increase. But instead, if we accept situations as they are, if you accept your own self as you are, with all your limitations, with all your flaws, and you come out of this klesha. The fifth one is abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means clinging to the false self. We can even call it as fear of death. The death is programmed by our elders, by society. How it is programmed to us? It is programmed in us with a lot of fears. We carry inside about death. All the fears that we have in our life are smaller. We know there are many fears like stage fear, fear of public speaking. I had this public speaking fear 10 years ago. I was never used to speak in front of people. I carried this fear, but I overcome that fear. And some people carry fear of heights. Some people carry fear of illness. Some people carry fear of life. So all these fears have one deep rooted fear underneath it, underneath all these fears, that is fear of death. Why we have this fear of death? Because, oh, I have achieved so much, I have name and fame, I am a famous person, I am living a rich life, but one day I may die. Because I see someone is dying. And this brings me fear. This fear of death stops us from living our grandest life. When there is a death fear, we cannot enjoy the life. So, this is fifth klesha. These 5 kleshas brings humans suffering. When we understand them deeply, when we meditate on them deeply, then we come out of all our sufferings. And we know that we are deathless soul. One day this body dies, but I will not die. The presence within me, the awareness, consciousness within me, which will never leave me, because it is me. Whatever the body that I have to live one day. Whatever the house, beautiful house that I am living, one day I have to leave this house. One day I have to leave this house, the body. That I, the bigger I, the grander I, is not dying. It transcends to other dimension. So with this truth, we come out of the suffering. And there are various paths that we can choose. And to understand these deeper meaning of life, our awareness needs to be expanded. There are 3 levels of awareness. First level of awareness is contracted awareness. When our awareness is contracted, our attention is contracted, then we cannot enjoy, experience life to the fullest. So the contraction of awareness bring all the pain, all the sorrow, worry. So how do we know our awareness is contracted? If we carry thoughts and emotions of jealousy, hatred, fearful, worry, sad, depressed, anxious, tensed, all these lower emotions, limited emotions are coming from the state of contracted awareness. When our awareness is expanded, this is the next level of awareness, expansion of our awareness. When our awareness is expanded, then we feel smile in our face. We feel inspired. We try to help others. Happiness, joy, love, laughter, harmony, goodness, kindness, compassion, truthfulness, wisdom, all these things, all the components, all the emotions come from the state of higher awareness, expanded awareness. And third level of awareness is pure awareness. Pure awareness is, it is not positive, it is not negative. It is not good nor bad. It is just being. It is your inner being state. It is your soul state. Pure awareness, pure consciousness. In this pure awareness, we connect to our soul. And whatever that we do, we bring excellence in that work out of the state of pure awareness. So in this pure awareness, your thoughts are purified. Your emotions are purified. Your perceptions are purified. Your beliefs are purified. You are a purified self. So to have this purification in us, we have 4 paths that we can follow that lead to unity. that lead to freedom. What are these 4 paths? One is different people, based on their level of awareness, they choose that particular path. First path is Karma Yoga. The path which has action, with selfless actions, selfless service, we get freedom from all the entanglements. Karma Yoga is best suitable for everyone to come out of the ego. It's the best tool, best practice for people who are always identified with ego. Karma Yoga will chop away all the ego layers. So through karma, through work, we dedicate, devote, we commit ourselves in the work, that whatever that we are doing, that brings us freedom. And second path is Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge. By reading the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, by understanding them deeply and by integrating that wisdom into us, and it leads to unity, it leads to enlightenment, it leads to freedom. Not just reading, but understanding them, assimilating them, integrating them, all the tools into you, that leads to unity. Third path that leads to unity is Raja Yoga, the king of all yogas, we can say. So Raja Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, with meditation, with contemplation, we enter into freedom state. So this Raja Yoga will set us free from all the conditioned mind, from all the past patterns, so that we go forward in life without any attachments. Many people follow Raja Yoga to come out of all the sufferings, all the misery. And the fourth path is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is a path which is with devotion, a path of devotion, path of surrender, surrendering to not just the idols in the temple, but surrender to our own higher self, surrender to our own soul, surrender to the higher power which is there, which is operating, organizing, orchestrating this universe. That's what true surrender means. That also brings us freedom. So, based on individual soul choices, each one of us, we choose one out of these 4 paths to get freedom and unity. And let us look into the 4 goals of human life. Everyone should have goals in life so that you get right direction. Without goals, there is no bigger life. Like how thread is important for a kite to high fly, goals are like that for us to live our life. What are these 4 goals? Let us look into this. First type of goals are Artha. Artha means having all the material success, earning money, having all the things in our life, whatever that we need. Living a successful life. That's what Artha means. We need money to live in life. Without money, we cannot live. Money is a neutral energy, pure energy, divine energy. We need to attract it into our life. To travel around the world, to buy a luxurious car, to live in a very big house, we need money. So this goal, Artha, that gives meaning to us. And second goal is Kama. Kama means desires. We have many desires and wants. We want to experience luxury in life. We want to experience happiness. We want to experience pleasures in life. We also need to fulfill those desires. that we get. That is another goal. Third goal is Dharma. Dharma is highest goal, the ultimate goal of human existence. Dharma is living your purpose, knowing your highest Dharma. That means why you are here. What do you want to do in life? What do you want to contribute to others? How do you want to serve others? How can you bring your full potentiality into this existence? With this goal, we discover many aspects of our inner power, inner potentiality, so that we live a powerful life. We live a life with full of power, freedom and wisdom. And fourth goal of human life is moksha. Moksha means we think that, I will get moksha when I do good things. If I give charity, if I give money to others, then I will get moksha. If I do some dana means giving, I will get moksha. People have different thoughts, meanings, beliefs about moksha. And some people think that if I do all good karmas here, once I go to the heaven, I will get moksha there. Otherwise, I will land into hell, in the Yamaloka. That's not truth. Moksha is liberation from the conditioned mind. Moksha is true freedom. Freedom from all the attachments, freedom from everything. That's what moksha means. So, artha, kama, dharma, moksha. To live a fullest life, grandest life, we need to fulfill all these four goals, so that your life will blossom, your consciousness flower. You will experience life in its fullest form. Thank you, dear friends, for watching me. Take care of you. I'm signing off. Bye-bye.